So when you talk about debt, there is such a thing as good debt and bad debt. And bad debt is when you're blowing up the credit card so you can go to the club. Bad debt is when you're blowing up the credit card so you can go buy Gucci sneakers. Bad debt is when you're blowing up the credit cards just so you can go on vacation. And good debt is when you're building debt because you're buying an asset that's going to make you money. Your money should be working. As my brother, the Wall Street Trapper, likes to say, if your money's not working for you, then your dollars are unemployed. So God bless him for saying that because I agree with that 100%. All right, next. Another thing, benefit of marriage that studies show is that financial accountability matters. And let me explain it like this. Has anybody ever seen the difference between how a married person operates when it comes to their finances versus a single person? Has anybody ever seen that? Has anybody ever seen how I'm talking about good married people, responsible married people, people that want to actually better their lives, who care about their kids, who care about their spouse. Has anybody ever noticed how a married man moves, a responsible married man moves versus an irresponsible person who's just single, who isn't thinking about anybody other than themselves? What happens is what you call a natural risk aversion, where you are careful, you're thoughtful, you're strategic about your finances. Also, you work harder because you got something to work for. And now, this was not a marriage story, but when I had my daughter, when I was 18 years old, and I went to college, and my girlfriend was pregnant, and I'm scared to death. I can tell you what, that was the first time I ever made straight A's in my life. I never made an A in the class before until I got to college because I had a baby coming. And I said, man, I don't know what I want to do with my life, but I do know I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be pimped. I want to be able to take care of my child. So because of that, all these variables kicked in together to drive me to be the best man I ever knew I could be. I didn't even know I could be the man that I became because the motivation of being responsible for others was really a driver. So sometimes marriage will force you to grow up. Parenthood forces you to grow up. And so a lot of times when you are protected or blocked from things that are going to force you to grow, then guess what? You're no longer black. You become what Dr. Claude Anderson calls a need to grow. You need to grow, but you ain't growing, right?